Hey there, speculators. It's Rod, the Futures Fanatic. Welcome back to the Futures Fanatic channel, part of TDG, the Traders Dev Group. We provide financial education for active futures traders and self-directed investors. Hey, in tonight's video, today, February 8th, 2021, the night that Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl and Tom Brady won his 6 millionth Super Bowl or whatever it is, somehow he's more tolerable as a Tampa Bay Buck. But that's not what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about that also tonight. The CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, launched Ether Futures, Ethereum Futures. We're going to get to how that all works and how we might be able to start trading 50 Ethereum at a time right after these messages. Thanks. Okay, so tonight, February 8th, the CME, which is an exchange it's the biggest exchange. If you're going to trade futures, you're going to want to be very familiar with the CMEgroup.com. It's your source for all information, everything futures, almost every futures product that we're probably going to be talking about here on the channel and that you would be involved in if you get involved in futures, or if you're not already, is going to be traded on the CME, one of the CME exchanges. So tonight they launched Ethereum Futures. This is the page right here. I'll drop a link in the description below. Tell you a little bit about more about how you can get to this particular page, because actually it's going to have everything you need to understand about these Ethereum futures. I'll cover some of the highlights tonight, but I'll try to make this short. So again, you can just come over to these links here. Here's the frequently asked questions, and there are a lot of frequently asked questions in here. But let's go back over to TradingView for just a moment. And if you have a live futures data connected to TradingView, I probably have at least 10 videos here on the channel that talks about how you can get live futures data connected into TradingView. I'll put a link to one of those right here up above. What you can do is you can actually add the Ether. Now there's no change from close because it's the first day they're trading. What you're going to want to do is come over here, hit the plus button. You're going to go to futures, not crypto, futures, and you're going to type in ETH, which is the symbol, and you'll have Ethereum futures right here. The continuous contract is right there, which has a little exclamation point after it, and then you have February, which is the one that I added. It's ETHG 2021. All right. Now, what's interesting about this launch here is that back in the later part of 2017, the CME and the CBOE launched Bitcoin futures, and the Bitcoin futures happened to correspond to the absolute high in the Bitcoin market at that particular time, the December of 2017, and it was straight down about probably 80% from there. So we will see what happens here. I think there's a whole nother group of holders and people involved in the crypto markets now this next time around. So I'm not suggesting that we're going to see that kind of volatility from Ether as these begin to launch. And I would suspect that the volume is going to be very low this week. The reason the volume is going to be pretty low is because what this contract actually represents. So again, I'm over on CME and I'm under margins. And again, elsewhere on the channel, we talk about what margins are, but really margins are kind of the same as margins. What got Robinhood in trouble with the whole CME thing is that you have to have a certain amount of capital in order to put a trade on. And in the case of Ether, in their infinite wisdom, the CME, I guess they started to put this together when Ether was trading at maybe 300 or 400. This contract is 50 Ether, okay? So 50 Ether at the current price of, let's just say, 1,500 to 7,500. You can see that's a pretty big contract, right? The underlying is 75,000. So they're asking for here about, let's just call it 40 grand. You can see that the out months are a little bit more. So about $40,000 is required just to buy one particular Ether contract, all right? Now, let's go back over here and tell you what that means and how it would kind of trade. All right, now I can't actually go to the Ether. Well, I could. You could see this is the amount of data we have. We don't have much. I'm recording this on actually February 8th after the Super Bowl on that evening. So these have only been trading for about 5-6 hours as of this time. So what I'm going to do instead is just come over here and put in the Ether, actually ETH, Ethereum here. We'll go right there. All right. Now, since each contract represents 50 Ether, each point in Ethereum futures is going to look a lot like a point or exactly like a point or a dollar in the S&P futures. So there's going to be 4 ticks to a dollar Each tick will be $12.50. So each point, or what we'll call a dollar, is going to be $50. Okay, so $50 in the S&P is a big contract, but it's not that crazy because the average true range, or the expected move in the S&P, maybe 40, 50 points a day. You could get up to 70 or 80 on big days, but generally it's going to be around 30 to 40 points. Even that is a lot of movement. So you're talking about maybe $2,000 worth of movement. Well, here, Ether, just in the last 24 hours, these cryptos will tend to move on the weekends. This sucker was from, 1,760 all the way down to, what is this? This is our 233 EMA, the T-line. Nice bounce off there. You can see this candle closed, and the open of the bullish candle right above the T-line went from about 1530 up to 1540s up to let's just call it 1640s for simple math. So that is 100 points. 100 times 50 is $5,000 per contract. That's just this move right here. The move from this extreme turn sell up here. And again, if you subscribe to the channel, hit this like button if you're finding this to be content that's useful to you. You can find out a lot more about this extreme turn, which is a great way to identify turning points in the market. So this is the sell here. If we went from 1750 all the way down to 1550, you're talking about $200, 200 times $50 per dollar in this contract, because it's 50 frickin' Ether. Is going to be a $10,000 move. Okay, a $10,000 move. If you're putting up $40,000, a $10,000 move, of course, is a 25% return on investment, if you will, or return on risk. Now, you're not, I guess you could blow through that entire margin. If you let something go, whatever it would be, $400 against you, you would blow out your entire margin. You probably get a margin call before that were to occur. So we'll see how this goes. It's exciting. It would be great if there was smaller contracts offered by the CME. Hopefully the CBOE or some other entities will get involved and provide futures contracts for this Ethereum product, because it just gives you a lot more flexibility. And if you kind of know what you're doing, or you have a strategy that's picking turning points for you, or momentum, whatever your trading style is, and you're well capitalized enough to participate in this, you can do so without having a crypto wallet, or without having to worry about, yes, Coinbase, and I've done some other videos here on the channel about how crypto trading is getting much more approachable, but for a lot of investors, it's still just the wild, wild west, okay? And if you have an account at Interactive Brokers or TD Ameritrade or a bunch of places, I haven't checked yet whether this is available, honestly, even at Interactive Brokers, but it must be, because no, in fact, I wasn't able to actually, I looked yesterday, which was on a Saturday, and I did not yet see them posting the actual margins and information over on Interactive Brokers, but I would suspect that they'll be really early. If it's not available tomorrow or even tonight, it'll probably be available sometime this week. And eventually I would imagine that almost all brokers are going to offer this product, even though many do not offer access to the Bitcoin product, which is about twice the size. Currently, the Bitcoin product, you can see from some other videos I've done, is 5 Bitcoin, which 5 Bitcoin times 40,000 is a $200,000 contract. Now you're talking about margins of $70, $80, $100,000 just to participate. All right, so would have been better if the CME and these futures folks would have had the foresight to make this product a little smaller so more of us could be involved, but it is out there now, and it's another way to get access and exposure to this market. All right, you're going to want to look at the description below. While you're looking at the description below, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're liking this kind of content, futures content. We're going to expand into a little bit of crypto and alternative assets going forward, and it's kind of a no BS zone where it's not about how much money I made or you could make or how to make $500 a day. Nothing wrong with any of that other stuff. It's more educational, just how things work, and how you can get involved if you're digging it. All right, so you're going to go over to CME. That's where you can find out all the information about this particular contract and how you can get involved in Ether Futures if you would like. Check the descriptions below for that. That's going to be it for tonight. My name is Rod, and this is the Futures Fanatic channel here on YouTube. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch all the way to the end. If you did, we'll see you at the next video. Stay green and trade like you mean it. Thanks.